What is up, guys? This is the kid DZD, aka the Kang, live from the Dungeon Palace Studios once again. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. If you're all new with us and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, make sure you do that, and also hit that bell notification. That way you don't miss out on content just like this that I bring to this channel. Today I'm gonna take you through some nice tips that are gonna get you those nice textures behind your beats. You know, those textures that you can't hear, but you can really feel them. Those slight subtle things can be the difference between a nice sounding beat and a beat that doesn't sound too good. When you're able to get those nice textures and lay them lightly in your beat in different places, it literally gives your beat a whole different shape and a whole different form. So I'm going to show you how to do that with your melodies, and also a few tips on how to do it with your percussion drum patterns as well. Pay close attention to these small details, because no matter what software you're in, you'll be able to apply the same exact concept and get it done. So I don't want to say too much. Let's jump inside the MPC software, and I'm going to show you these tips on how to get some nice textures in your beats. Let's do it. All right, let's open up Nexus, and I'm going to grab like a bell sound. Let's see if we can come up with a melody with that. Let's EQ that. Okay, now I got this piano in Vengeance Pro. We're just gonna lay down some nice sharp hits for the beat. Let's do it. All right, let's highlight all of that with Control A, and then I'm gonna hold Alt and duplicate the notes down an octave. That sounds okay, but I'm gonna highlight them all again, and then I'm gonna hold Shift. I'm gonna move those down an octave. That way it's a lower octave. Gives it a nice dark feel, but if you notice, the lower notes have a little bit of rumble in them, so we're gonna EQ that out to make it sit well. Okay, I got this nice little guitar synth sound in Lethal. Check it out. We're gonna lay down just a little simple melody with that. I want like a little back and forth melody with this. Something like check this out. We're going to put some reverb on that to kind of push it in the background a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead on and drop the EQ on it and kind of shape it to fit it in there. That works. Now that I have these three melodies that's laid down, I have that bell sound, our melody, I have the piano hits, and I have the guitar track that I just laid down. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bounce this whole entire sequence out by going up here, right-clicking on sequence, and I'm gonna go down to bounce as sample. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna bounce out a whole new sample, and it's gonna put it in my sample pool right here, ready for me to do something with. And before I mess with this, I'm gonna go to track mute, and I'm going to mute all of the tracks that I have, because I don't want those playing right now. Okay, and you'll see why. So let's go back to the home screen, and we're going to double click on the sample, and this gives us all three of those melodies in a sample. Check it out. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tune this sample down 12 semitones. Okay, now what 12 semitones is going to do is it's going to keep it in the same key, but it's going to bring it down a lower octave. So it's in the same key. But if you notice, it's moving very, very slow, but still the same key that we wanted. Okay, so let's go ahead on and speed this back up to 156 tempo. So I'm going to hit process. I'm going to go to time stretch. Okay, I'm going to change my beats to 32 because we're working in double time, 16 beats, that's 32. And right now it's running in 78. So we're going to speed it back up to 156. And hit do it. Boom, that speeds it back up in tempo. Now that I have it back in tempo, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to process and I'm going to go to reverse. I'm going to hit do it, and this is going to reverse the sample. Check it out. Okay, now that I have that, I'm going to go to chop and I'm going to just go to regions and I'm going to chop by regions. That chops the sample in 16 equal regions. Okay, I'm going to hit shift, convert, and do it. Okay, now that puts that on a program. Okay, now I'm going to go to my next track and I'm going to put that program that I just created on that track. This is where the trick comes. In reverse, if you look, let's go to the piano chords track that we have, which is track 2. What happened when we reversed the sample is we now took these chords here and they are now all the way here in the ending of the track. And now your ending of the track now becomes your beginning of the track because the sample reversed. So if that's the case when we reverse the sample, then you guessed it, we have to play these chops in reverse. So that means you're going to play them on the pads going down this way. Going in reverse in the pads. If we play them up, then it won't be in the same exact tone of the original melodies that we laid down. But if we play them in reverse, now we're hitting those same exact notes in that piano track that we have. The notes are just going to be in reverse. Now I'm going to play the sample up the pads. Just straight up the pads. 1 all the way up to 12. I'm going to play it in the same sequence as this, and you're going to hear how it doesn't quite fit. Let's do it. So you can hear how it doesn't quite fit. It somewhat fits because remember the sample is in the key, it is in the same key, just the lower octave. So it somewhat fits, but not quite. Listen to it again. Now look at what happens when we play the sample going the other way, down the pads. Check it out. Now it fits a little better. You can hear the difference that makes. Now I'm going to go on and fit this in. And the trick is to put this melody right underneath, to EQ it right underneath the original melodies. That way you have some type of texture that's laying in the background of your sound. So let's grab our EQ. We're going to grab that. And then we're going to go ahead on and lay that right underneath our melodies. Let's do it. So now your reverse sample gives your melodies like it's almost like a warped texture that's slightly playing underneath. And now what happens is your melodies don't sound too clean, and it gives it that nice dark gritty feel. And this works especially well for dark type of trap beats, all that type of stuff like that. Really well. Listen to it one more time and tell me in the comments below if you can hear the difference as to what it does. Now this is with it unmuted. Check it out. And this is what gives your melodies that nice gritty feel. It's a sound effect that's laying in the back of your melodies. And this is exactly how you achieve that. It's a very popular technique, and it works very well, especially for these type of simple melodies. We're gonna get this track rocking with my Iron Fist drum kit. Let's do it. I'm gonna take another hi-hat, this hi-hat right here, and we're gonna put some rolls on that track, some nice low rolls. So I'm gonna change my grid to 64, and we're gonna see where we can put some nice rolls in there. I want some right here, right there, onto 1. This is gonna give it our bounce. That's it right there. Now to give it more of a bounce, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight those notes that I just laid down, and then I'm gonna grab my pencil tool, and I'm going to shape the velocities going down like this. This is gonna give it like more of a nice little crunch bounce to it. Check it out. I want them right between those two notes here, right between there, and I want them right between these notes as well. And then I just hit Control D and duplicate it to the second half of the pattern. So let's do that. If it starts on 2-1, 2-1 would be 6-1 in the second half of the pattern. So there they are. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab that same hi-hat, okay, and I'm going to put it in 16 level, okay, and that's gonna put it in velocity right here. But what I don't want is velocity, I want tune, okay, which means that it's gonna turn this particular hi-hat, I'm gonna be able to play it in different pitches. Okay, so we're gonna lay down some different pitches for this hi-hat. Let's go put this in 32. I'm gonna put it in note repeat, and I'm gonna just press the pads as the beat plays, and we're gonna just put them in, then we'll adjust them on the grid. Let's do it. And I'm gonna do the opposite to those. Instead of going down, I'm gonna go up. And one more thing that you can do as well is you can get detail with your hi-hat patterns. You can go in your two-step hi-hat and you can count 3, hold shift, and just keep selecting every 3. So count 3, 1, 2, 3, select, 1, 2, 3, select, 1, 2, 3. Let's go 3. Let's skip that one and go 1, 2, 3 here, select. And we're gonna keep doing that. 1, 2, 3, select. Okay, and the reason why I wanted to select all of those is because after they're selected, by holding shift and just selecting them, now I can go to just one velocity of them all and just pull it down. I'm gonna pull it down to where it's about halfway, almost halfway, about 70, something like that. We laid the textures under the melodies. We laid the textures underneath the hi-hats as well. If you just lay those simple, subtle things down, you'll start to notice that your beat takes on a whole different shape, and it starts to give it that nice little vibe that's underlined that you can't really hear, but you can just feel it. That does it for the tutorial, guys. I hope you guys got a few tips and tricks on how to get those textures to layer on your beats and make sure that you have that nice, rich tone that you can feel rather than hear. If these small tips helped you out in any way, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button and also drop me a comment below and let me know if you understood exactly what was done here. It also helps to get the video in the eyes of people that it will help. So I appreciate you guys doing that. Make sure you guys are tuned into my live stream on Twitch. I stream live there. Beat critiques, beat battles. We have collab nights to where we collab with short samples. All of that good stuff like that we take care of on the Twitch channel. And my community is a whole lot of fun. So pull up and I'll see you in the chat. If you guys want to connect with me in any type of way, Instagram is the best place to do that. Make sure you guys follow me at the Drink Kang on IG. Shoot me a DM and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. This is the Kid DZD, aka the Drink Kang, live from the Dungeon Palace Studios, and I'll check you guys in the next video. Peace out.